Well, as you know, here on the show, the on Main Street with Rick Amato, we frequently have had a guest who is the CEO and the founder of Integrity Wealth Management. He's author of the book Integrity at Work. And each time Ralph Adamo, the CEO and the author, each time he comes on, we cover a chapter. This time, we're going to cover chapter number 6. It's called the WealthTrac Formula, and it is designed to be a process that someone will never outgrow as they progress through different stages of their financial life. Let's welcome back the author of Integrity at Work, the CEO of Integrity Wealth Management, Ralph Adamo. Ralph, good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Rick. It's always a good time to visit with you. I'm glad we're having this time together.
Yeah, likewise. So, chapter 6 in your book today, the Wealth Track Formula. I like the concept, uh, a process to never outgrow as you progress through life. Tell us about it.
Yeah, essentially, you can think of two circles that are connected. One of the topics is what matters most to the individual, the client household, and then what are those things that we can control? When it comes to what matters most to clients, we use an acronym called FORM. Generally, those four categories: F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, M for money. And the first three, family, occupation, and recreation, is really the why we're doing what we're doing. And the M for money is the how, supporting what we're doing. And we always want to make sure we know the why before we worry about all the how.
Yeah, you have mentioned before what on the show here, you have mentioned what is your why. Um, okay, so once you have that form, that acronym in place, how does one not outgrow that as they change through life?
Yeah, so there's multiple stages. There is the early onset stage of accumulating wealth, addressing our family for protection needs in the event of a premature death or disability. There's the issues that surround funding for college education and getting ahead of that, all those educational needs and expenses. Then, during kind of the middle of an individual's life stage with their spouse or partner, we're developing the accumulation so that we can potentially retire at some point out there. Now, retirement, I was just reading another article today. We used to think of it as a 30-year time horizon. The average couple that retires at 65, one in two, or roughly 50% chance that one of them is going to make it to 95. That's a 35-year time horizon. They're talking today about 40-year time horizons becoming more probable than 30-year time horizons. And we're working for 30, 35 years and then trying to have money last for another 30 to 40 years. That could be a daunting task for sure.
Now, Ralph, when you clarify, when you say 40 years, are you saying people are retiring at 55 or they're living to 105?
Well, we have folks that are not outliers now that are living to 100 and folks retiring at 60. And so that 40-year time horizon is becoming very prevalent for many folks today.
Well, Dick Van Dyke just released a new book. He turns 100 next month, I believe it is.
Yes.
uh, so is this something that this wealth track formula, is this something that someone should put down on a spreadsheet and look at different phases in their life to?
Well, the formula incorporates not just that why and the how and the sense of having controllables as well. It really has 8 different lanes or 8 different pillars or 8 different legs of the stool. What we mean by that is we've got a plan in each of these silos, and then we've got to come across the silos. So, what are those silos I'm referencing? Well, for most folks, they know the obvious silo of portfolio construction and management. That's the assembly of money and putting it to work properly. The second one is once you've put it together properly, how do you actually create an income plan? That's another silo. How do you do the risk management along the way? How do you deal with the tax awareness concepts that are important? What are you doing about the estate and legacy issues that come into play? And I like to make the difference or separate between estate planning and legacy planning. Estate planning is essentially transferring valuables. Legacy planning is transferring value systems properly.
Hmm.
Then there's philanthropic planning and using the tax code to the client's and the family's advantage in matters. I mean, we are the most philanthropic country in the world per capita. In fact, it's purported that here in the US, for every 25 cents that a Canadian gives, we give $1 to $1.25.
Wow.
Now, that's because we've built it into our incentive program in our tax code.
Yeah.
Our tax code and our the folks that were part of that initiation realized that the private market does a better job than the public market of the government taking care of the needy. And so we've incentivized those in the private sector to be able to get it closer to the recipients and the constituents of that need. And then last, of course, there's some other added value processes that go into it. And so, how do we take this over the arc of a client's lifetime? How do we deal with each of these silos and make sure that the silos aren't so separate and distinct that they actually are integrated? Because what you do in your tax plan, it affects what you have left over to invest, and how you invest impacts your tax planning. So there's all sorts of implications that go cross current along between each of these silos.
Wow. A lot there, and you've done a great job at breaking it down, Ralph, and describing it. Um, Anything else you'd like to add that perhaps I haven't asked?
Well, one of the things that I think is crucial when individuals are evaluating their financial services deliverables and their relationship is to ask themselves about the kind of relationship. Is it comprehensive? Is it inclusive? I'll plug our book, but you don't have to go to the book. You can go to our website, either the Integrity IWM website or the Integrity at Work.com website. And you can download a list of the 25 questions to ask yourself about your financial advisory relationship and whether or not it is comprehensive in nature, so that all 8 of these silos are being included in the thought processes that take care of dealing with wealth, not just today, but over a long period of time.
All right. Ralph Adamo, author of the book Integrity at Work, founder, CEO of Integrity Wealth Management. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Rick. Thanks for having me.
Back with more on Main Street after this.